My name is Ingo, and as you can see, I'm the pilot of this aircraft here. I'm in Singapore since maybe 2005. I did fly this aircraft here from the States. I've been flying between the States and Europe a couple of times, and I thought it's a good trip to do it from Europe to Singapore. I did that in 7 flights with a little bit of sightseeing in between. Since that time I'm here and greatly enjoying the ability to fly to different spots, like a nice little island. We also do diving, so it's a lot of fun, but it's also being used for professional duties a little bit.
Ingo, can you run us briefly through the controls of your plane?
Yes, I can go through the controls of my plane. See, a plane is quite different than a car actually is. That starts with what they call the joke. I don't know why it's like that, but it's basically this. So if you pull it, the plane goes up. If you push it, the plane goes down. Left side, right side. But there are also pedals on the floor, which is the rudder. So it's like a 3-dimensional flying. Usually it's very tiny controls like this. So you're not janking an aircraft around. I'm doing aerobatics flying there, you would jank it around though. Then you have the throttles here. Yeah, the throttles are a bit more complicated too, because there's the throttle itself, then there is a prop setting and a mixture setting. The aircraft is going up, the air goes thinner, so you need to adjust the mixture. The aircraft has a lot of gauges and a lot of radio installation. We also have radar, and we have a flying map, we have a transponder, and we have various indications for altitude. We have a so-called artificial horizon, because this aircraft can also fly in the clouds, so you're not dependent on visual rules. We can go what we call IFRs, but flying IFR, those instrument flight rules I mentioned, that you are supposed to listen to the controller. It actually is a nice safe feeling, because you hear the chatting of all the airliners at the same time. You feel like very safely guided, and if there is something around like bad weather, well, you hear them all asking for deviation. You get a very good picture, and at some time you're probably the one asking for deviation as well, to fly around like a huge, we call that a cumulus tower, like those huge towering clouds. It's not a good idea to fly in them.
Well, I hear that Team Auto may be stopping by for donuts and maybe a coffee. Do you sometimes wish you could be down on the ground instead?
Actually, yeah, stopping by for donuts and coffee. See, that's a bit more difficult in an aircraft, because you just can't park in the air without falling down. But see, this aircraft is fairly big, so at times I take my stewardess, and the stewardess would give me some coffee or some peanuts, or better. And that actually is a nice thing of flying. See, once you're in the air, nobody's really looking at you. They only look at your flight data. So as long as you respond to the controller, you can do anything in the air.
So do you wish you were part of Team Auto instead?
No, definitely not. See, I like my 2 big engines, and I feel safe and also strong with them, and fast, by the way.
Okay, one piece of advice for Team Auto.
Well, it's okay to lose, I guess.
Okay, your thoughts on this event? Do you think it's a good idea for charity, and is it worth repeating?
Whether it's a good idea for charity, yes, I definitely think so. See, professionally I'm helping kids. I'm working with a system of auditory training. We work with a lot of autistic children. So I'm seeing those all the time, and also see what difference it can make with them. So I'm highly motivated, and I think it's a really good idea to also focus the attention a little bit on those areas where usually you don't quite look, or you don't quite want to look. So that is definitely will definitely be achieved with this race.
Okay, final question. What's the deciding factor for yourself in joining this race?
Well, I guess I just mentioned one deciding factor. See, the other one honestly is fun as well. See, we see that as a group activity from Wings Over Asia. We know each other since a long time, and it's all about doing common activities. It's maybe slightly different than other activities, because we are in a very tight set of rules and procedures. So whenever we do something, it's also knowing to flow with that, knowing to be accurate, well, to be safe, of course, but to be exactly able to do all this, that's also very rewarding. And of course, a common action flying 5 aircrafts, that needs a lot of organization in flight, but also before flight. So I like that part too.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.